po nagpa-submerge doon sa mga low-lying areas?
Paano naman, bakit naman iba ang experience of Pasig, Marikina, Cainta area compared to our experience in Parañaque? Bumahay kami, pero mabilis mag-subside yung tubig. Bumahaya mga bandang alas 2 ng hapon, but in most places, by early evening, back to normal na yung tubig. Like, for example, in Sukat. Yung Sukat, walang katubig-tubig yan, mga noon time. All of a sudden, mga bandang 1:30, because I was there, right there, no? Bandang 1:30, biglang tumaas na. Tapos tumaas at tumaas up to about 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. Tapos, after that, tumigil na yung pagtaas. And then by about 7:30, nag-recede na to a level where it became passable again.
Tama po kayo.
Sa inyo?
Kasi ang condition po ng Parañaque at Las Piñas area is adjacent to Manila Bay. Unlike po dito sa yung tubig ulan kasi sa nanggaling sa bundok, ay kailangan pa nating i-divert yung portion o yung volume of water papunta ng Laguna Lake para po hindi mag-spill over along through our Napindan Manggahan Floodway, para po hindi mag-spill over ang Pasig River, para hindi po ma-worsen yung flooding sa Manila. Yun po ang naging dahilan yan. Kaya ang mas mabilis po mag-receive ng tubig sa Parañaque, Las Piñas dahil po yung area is wala nang mountains doon sa area na yun. So very small area yan na directly maka-discharge sa Manila Bay pagka low tide. Kasi pag high tide po, yun maapektuhan po yung kanyang pagka...
You're saying, sir, I'm very concerned about Pasig. I'm not from Pasig. But my sister was one of the victims. Her house was went underwater yung first floor to sa Riverside subdivision in Pasig. They were stranded for more than 24 hours, living on canned goods retrieved from a floating refrigerator inside their home. So gusto ko rin malaman kung ano yan. Like for example, Provident. Historically, alam natin yung Provident, binabaha. Ito ang tanong ko, no? Meron bang, kasi normally, before a disaster strikes, sometimes there is one lone voice who would say, mag-ingat kayo at sigurado pag hindi natin ginawa yan, babaha ng ganyang kalakihan. I remember Mr. Rodolfo Kevin, in the case of Pinatubo, he was, for a while, a lone voice with respect to Mount Pinatubo. He warned about lahar, etc., etc. Some people did not believe him. And all of a sudden, nangyari yung lahar. In this case, meron ba na lone voice that gave a warning na babaha ang Metro Manila pag wala tayong gagawin na tamang mga measures?
Engineer, before you respond, please allow me to turn over the chairmanship of the committee, the hearing, our Vice Chairman, Honorable Biazon, who will continue the budget hearing for MMDA.
Ang ano po kasi, kung ma-remember niyo, wala pa po yung Manggahan Floodway. Mas worse po mas madali po magbaha ang Maynila noon, Pasig, tsaka Marikina. So ito po yung naging yung solusyon niya po diyan. Itong Manggahan Floodway. At saka yung isa pong
Manggahan Floodway is an artificial floodway, or is
yes, Your Honor.
It was a river that was deepened and widened.
No, it's an artificial floodway. Artificial waterway. Kasama po dyan yung Parañaque Spillway. Kasi po yung ating problema, pagka na-store na natin yung floodwater sa Laguna Lake. Kasi po, normally, kahit flood times, ang elevation po ng Laguna Lake is only, maximum po is 12.5. Elevation 12.5. Samantala po ngayon, ang elevation is elevation 13.8. So yung yung kanyang, sa isang araw po yan, para mag-discharge po yung tubig papunta ng Manila Bay through Napindan River, through Pasig River, 1 centimeter lang po ibababa niya. So kaya yung nangyayari ngayon sa Pasig, actually Pasig ngayon lang po nakaranas ng baha niyan, after na yung Pasig na sinasabi niyo po na binaha ngayon, dati hindi binabahayan, pag ang elevation lang ng Laguna Lake, sumabot ng 12.5. Ngayon po kasi 13.8. So, mabagal po ang pag...
So, with that statement, Mr. Chairman, we can almost say, dapat ipagbawal ang reclamation sa Laguna Lake.
Dapat po,
Kasi
sir.
it will aggravate the water level situation there, no?
Tama po, sir.
Basic point pagpatuloy. Thank you.
So, yun po ang ano yan, yung doon sa Pasig, katulad po ng pinagbuhatan area, yung adjacent doon, so, doon sa Laguna Lake, mabagal po ang pag-receive dyan dahil mataas pa po ang tubig sa ngayon sa Laguna Lake. Pero gradually po yan, bababa sa Manila Bay. 1 centimeter lang po per day ang ibababa niyan.
Now, Mr. Chairman, pwede bang, can I also ask for a study from the MMDA on the sources of the water that went into the Metro Manila area, aside from the rainfall? Also, not just Metro Manila, because Metro Manila is just a political boundary, no? But more of the geographical area, which is Marikina Valley and most of what we know as Metro Manila today. Marikina Valley being Pasig, Cainta, I don't know hanggang saan yan, no? Saan galing yung tubig yan? Kasi may tubig galing ng Sierra Madre, galing ng Antipolo Hills, etc. etc. So that, ganun din, malalaman natin kung saan nagpupunta yan and we can anticipate yung level of flooding, assuming nothing is done right now. Ibig sabihin, kung yan ang sinasabi nyo, pag umulan ulit ng 0.4, ganun na naman mangyayari. Di ba? Because that's the law of physics. If the same kind of water will be disposed into the Metro Manila area, almost the same circumstances, then the same thing is going to happen again.
Tama po yun. Ang ano po kasi, ang tubig na pupunta sa Metro Manila ay galing po sa mountain, sa Buso-Buso, sa Montalban, itong sinabi ko nga kanina, itong Antipolo, Cainta, tsaka part of Rizal. So lahat po yan ng tubig na pupunta sa Metro Manila. But para to hindi po ma-aggravate ang situation or serious ang flooding natin dito sa Metro Manila, meron nga tayong Manggahan floodway at meron tayong Laguna Lake to temporarily store the floodwaters para po hindi magpunta rito sa Metro Manila. And then we gradually release these floodwaters into Manila Bay through Lapindan River and Pasig River.
Mr. Congressman, may I add to what you're saying? Because I found